Industrial revolution gave us an opportunity of the infrastructure development. The evolution of metallurgy and metallurgical factories started to use coke instead of coal.
In the 18th century, Clement Clark and his masters of blacksmithing and casting invented coke.
Coke spells like Coca-Cola, Coke, exactly the same, but it is very different from Coca-Cola. Coke is a fuel with few impurities and a high carbon content, usually made from coal. It is solid carbonaceous material derived from destructive distillation of low ash, low sulfur, bituminous coal. Cokes made from coal are gray, hard, and porous. While coke can be formed naturally, the commonly used form is man-made. The form known as petroleum coke or petcoke is derived from oil refinery coker units or other cracking processes. Coke is used as a fuel and as a reducing agent in smelting iron ore in a blast furnace. The carbon monoxide produced by its combustion reduces iron oxide hematite in the production of the iron product. Coke is commonly used as fuel from blacksmithing.
The main reason to use this material is to reduce the production cost of cast iron. Moreover, the cast iron products which were produced with the coke were much stronger and has the lightweight compared to its predecessors. Likewise, after the invention of coke, the metallurgical industry started to grow up very fast, and thus people started to build up metal bridges and railroad connections.
Railroad construction would be impossible without the steam power.
The first steam engine was developed in 17th century by Papin, and then in 1769 James Watt made changes in Papin's steam engine. American scientist Oliver Evans made the next modification in 1786, and then by British scientist Richard Trevithick in 1800.
Next to these two inventions in 1825 were built the first railroad in the world. This road connected two British cities, Stockton and Darlington. The length of the first railroad in Great Britain was 26 miles. This road was built for the transportation of coal from a mine to port. The fun fact is that this railroad is still working till now. So we can understand that the roads that were made in the time were good. Now I would like to compare the development in the infrastructures of Great Britain and Russia. Russian way of construction of the railroads is not about the development like in Britain. It is more about how much work you can do in shorter amount of time. When Russia started to build railroads in Russian Empire's metallurgy was not developed for building the railroads. However, at the end of 18th century, Russia melted more cast iron than Great Britain, but they melted it on coal. But it was not good enough for the railroads. They bought the railroads from Netherlands and all they did was connect them together. Later, they started to renovate the metallurgy industry. When Great Britain, after the start of the Industrial Revolution, began to use metal ores that were melted on coke and construct the railroads. For instance, Great Britain massively started to use coke for metallurgical production in 1747. Moreover, in 1796, smelting of cast iron on wood and coal was completely stopped and 121 blast furnaces used coke. Just to compare, Russia started to use coke only in 1945, which means that Great Britain was 50 years ahead of Russia. At the same time, Russia invented some things earlier than Great Britain. For example, Russian scientist Pavel Lvovich Schilling invented the electromagnetic telegraph in 1832, when British scientists Cook and Wheatstone had built it only in 1837. So I can say that the process of development in infrastructures was different. For example, Great Britain started to develop metallurgy first, and then development of the railroads. When Russia was importing the rails and was just putting the pieces together to construct the railroads, and after that they started to renovate their metallurgy industry. However, some inventions were made in Russia before Great Britain. For instance, the electromagnetic telegraph. Once again, the steps in the development of these two countries were mixed up, but the result is still the same. Whole new world!